Welcome back to Upton Park, where the weather has sadly taken a turn for the worse. What a miserable summer we're having here. We are round the corner from Haye against Chisora. 30,000 people here, and the priority for a lot of them is to keep themselves dry. But don't worry, not a single person has left Upton Park. They want to see the action, and they are bopping in the rain. Let's have a chat to a fellow who actually didn't mind at all whether it rained or the sun shone. Snooker player Ronnie O'Sullivan with Sarah.
Joining me now ringside is snooker legend Ronnie O'Sullivan. It's pretty atmospheric in here tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Fantastic atmosphere, and the rain just adds to the atmosphere, I think.
It's a little bit different to snooker though, isn't it? Do you think you'd prefer something like this?
It is, it ain't really, you know, it's like, I know there's a lot more people, a lot more noise, but it's still sport, still competitive, and it's like gladiatorial in a sort of way.
A lot louder and a lot wetter here tonight, isn't it? But we're gearing up for the big fight of the night. Who's going to win in your opinion, Ronnie?
I think it's pretty evenly matched really, but obviously I think you have to say David Haye would be the slight favourite, more experienced, been in much more bigger fights, but then the other fellas, you know, a little bit of can come out and hit him with one punch and win it. You know, he's quite an aggressive fighter, but I think it's going to be good.
Do you think David Haye then on points?
I think David Haye in 7 or 8 rounds.
7 round stoppage, that's your prediction?
That's my guess and prediction, yeah.
So do you enjoy boxing?
Boxing's one of my favourite sports, yeah. I like watching Manny Pacquiao, Mayweather, all the big fights, the exciting fighters really. And I think tonight you got a great contrast to start, so I think it'll be quite exciting.
Did you never see yourself as a boxer?
Oh, I don't know. Wow, no, not really. I'm a bit of a scaredy cat, really.
Concentration is more your bonus, isn't it?
Yeah, I think snooker's what I enjoy doing. It's what, you know, but maybe boxing would have been a better career path. You just don't know.
But these boxers will have to concentrate here tonight, won't they?
Yeah, I'm sure they're very well experienced. It's their job. They've been doing it for years, so I'm sure they're going to entertain and put on a good fight for the crowd.
Well, 7th round is Ronnie O'Sullivan's prediction. Thank you very much, Ronnie.
Thanks very much indeed, Ronnie, and thank you down there, Sarah. They will not win any fashion prizes, but they are very effective, are those Macs down there. The fighters on their way very shortly. Let's get the final thoughts, shall we, on what we might just see. Steve Bunce, I think the weather was pretty similar 19 years ago when Bruno fought Lennox Lewis, wasn't it? But we don't want to talk about that. Just take a deep breath, your final thoughts about this one in front of us.
The weather was far worse that night, I can assure you. Tonight, I think it's all down to what happens in the first round, not even the first 2 rounds, the first round. We'll see David Haye's intent. If it's the box, if it's the run, if it's to repeat the Value performance or what he tried to implement against Vladimir, we're going to be in for a long night, and Derek Chisora is going to be in for a long night. If David Haye genuinely comes down off the front foot and gets there, which he could do because he thinks it's an easy fight, never forget that, then I think we're in for a terrific fight, and anything could happen if this goes 5 or 6 rounds. Anything.
Nathan Cleverly.
I think Haye gets off to a positive start. I think it's going to be a fight of 2 halves. David Haye in the first half of the fight, Chisora takes over in the second half of the fight. I think it's going to be a close fight on points.
Okay, and the last word to the reigning British and Commonwealth heavyweight champion about a heavyweight fight, David Price. On you go, David.
It's going to be an exciting fight regardless, because you're going to be glued to the fight. Whether David Haye goes on the back foot, whether he goes in for the fight, you're not going to be able to take your eye off the ring. For me, I'm going to go my gut feeling from the beginning, David Haye inside the distance. I just hope it's a clean fight, and no, you know, I don't hope the emotions don't get too involved during the fight. I hope it's a clean fight. The referee doesn't have much to do, and may the best man win.
May the best man win. It's wet at Upton Park, but we are ready.
Why are you not fighting now? You want to tell me that my face? You want to tell me my face?
They say you are what you eat, and you know, he's spent the last 10 years eating.
It's like my score that I had, all nice from the outside, but inside it was...
My motivation is beating the hell out of Derek Chisora. That's all the motivation I need.
The more heart than him and his whole camp.
If he does what he did against Vitali, he'll get knocked out in 2 rounds maximum.
It's not personal. He's gonna whoop it.
I know he's dumb, but he's not dumb enough to think he can outbox me.
There ain't gonna be another fight like this for a while.
I definitely believe he's got a screw loose.
I'm gonna be all over that boy. He ain't gonna know what he is.
He'll get knocked out. No matter what he does, he'll get knocked out.
It's about two guys who dislike each other, who want to beat the shit out of each other, plain and simple.
It's gonna be one hell of a fight.
Come on, Derek, come at me. Come at me.
And here comes Del Boy. Here comes Derek Chisora. Massive underdog. Big outsider. And looking to upset the odds at Upton Park. He has promised to finish David Haye. David Haye coming back after a year out of the ring. Imposing figure, a controversial figure. We await the arrival in front of 30,000 people at Upton Park, and he will be greeted by the best master of ceremonies in the business. The hairs will rise on the back of his neck when he hears Mr. Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this party started! Coming to the ring first, Derek Chisora!
The entry of the gladiator, who is Derek Chisora. It's been a fight you haven't been able to take your eyes off so far as the build-up's been concerned. Chisora believes that he has Haye's number. Controversial, in some quarters reviled. And here he is at Upton Park, Derek Chisora. As ever, masked. I wonder what emotions are now going through his head. He said David Haye has no bottle. He will be huffing, puffing and crying. You can hear it is what might best be described as a mixed reception for Derek Chisora.
And now, making his entrance to the ring, David Hamilton!
Known to play the odd trick with his entrances, keep people waiting. I wonder if David Haye is going to be straight out tonight, Paul.
I said when people were asking me what time they thought the entrance was going to be, who knows? You know, you never know with David Haye what time he's going to come to the ring.
Is this going to be his redemption hour, I wonder? Or is he going to find that Derek Chisora can maybe do what Steve Collins did to Chris Eubank all those years ago and make him fight out of his comfort zone, make him fight 3 minutes around? Well, we will see. Derek Chisora waits patiently and still no sign of Haye.
He likes to keep everyone waiting.
Pausing for dramatic effect, maybe. Well, those are his own bodyguards. And here he comes.
Is that all right, mate?
Gloved up and ready to go. The former champion of the world. Cheers around the crowd as they see the image of David Haye on the huge screen in the corner of the stadium here at Upton Park. The rain still falls, but mercifully it's eased up a little bit from the torrential cloud burst that we had a few minutes ago. And David Haye will now be met by a wall of noise as he steps out of the tunnel here at Upton Park and ready for the biggest heavyweight fight of the year so far.
It's massive, it's a huge occasion. Everyone's talking about it for whatever reasons, but they're talking about it and they're here. There's 30,000 people here in soaking wet conditions in the rain, and they're still here supporting and watching.
A fight born out of the, let's be frank about it, disgraceful scenes over in Germany. But look at the crowd that's turned up, that tells you the story. Whatever the morals, you may argue about it, you may discuss it, some people like it, some people don't, but it is, in every sense, a major event. And here comes the Haymaker.
He's here, he's looking relaxed, he looks ready for business. To be fair, he doesn't look as smiley as he usually is. He's normally smiling walking to the ring. The smile doesn't seem to be there. He seems to seems to look like he means business, and we'll only know when the first bell goes, because in previous fights we've seen David Haye saying he's going to come out and just come to a totally different game plan than what he's been saying he's going to do weeks before the fight. He said tonight he's coming for war, so we hope to see him.
He's the lightest he's been as a heavyweight, just 15 stone. That's the sort of weight that Muhammad Ali was back in his prime. And David Haye said that he's had the best preparation that he's had for any fight since he fought Enzo Macronelli in that big cruiserweight title fight at the O2 Arena. Well, here he is, and the cheers of the crowd tell you that he is very much the Upton Park favourite. David Haye against Derek Chisora. And the next voice you'll hear in just a moment or two, giving it the big build-up in the best way possible, will be Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Upton Park, London, England. This is Licensed to Thrill. World-class professional heavyweight fighting, all brought to you by Box Nation in association with Haymaker Boxing, sponsored by The Sun, associate sponsor Raynham Steel. This is the main event of the evening, scheduled for 10 3-minute rounds for the vacant WBO, WBA International Heavyweight Championship. Sanctioned by the FLB President Pierre Back, Secretary Tony Banderi, UK Representative Bruce Baker, the World Boxing Organization President Francisco Paco Valcarcel, Supervisor for the WBO from the USA John Duggan, the World Boxing Association President Gilberto Mendoza, Supervisor for the WBA from Canada George Martinez. At ringside, the 3 judges scoring on the 10-point system. From South Africa and the Boxing Hall of Fame, Stanley Christodoulou. From England, Paul Thomas. Also from England, Mickey Van. And inside the ring, in charge of the action at the bell, your referee from Puerto Rico, Luis Pabon. And now, the officials are ready. The fighters are ready. Boxing fans, are you ready? London, England, are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing rainbow multicolors, official weight 247 pounds or 17 stone 9 pounds. His professional record, 15 victories, including 9 knockouts with 3 defeats. From London, England, former British and Commonwealth heavyweight champion, Derek Delboy Chisora. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing Union Jack colors, officially weighing 210 pounds or 15 stone. As a professional, 25 victories, including 23 knockouts with 2 defeats and 2 world titles. From London, England, the former cruiserweight world champion and former heavyweight champion of the world, David Haymaker.
Give me a hand. Okay, guys, I give you instruction in the dressing room. Let's have a clean match, okay? Good luck, and God bless you.
The touch of gloves was perfunctory. It will be very much more meaningful now. The talking over. The fight now for real.
I've never seen David Haye look so fired up. Never seen him without the smirk on his face, and he looks like he's really going to come out and come steaming out like he's promised.
10 rounds, this first round could be absolutely key. Haye said that he could knock Chisora out in this very first round. A £20,000 bet wagered said that it won't happen. Haye trying to start fast. Oh, good left hand from Chisora. And almost lifting Haye off his feet. Chisora trying to keep the tight guard. Likes to try and bob and weave his way in, put the pressure on in the manner of his hero, Joe Frazier.
You see the size difference as well straight away. There's a lot of height, weight and sheer size advantage for Chisora.
Chisora keeping defences tight. If he's got to win this one, surely he's got to get in close and try and work the body of Haye, who has his protective guard pulled up very high. Fast hands from Haye, the former champion. Well, Chisora certainly not being fazed by the atmosphere, I sense.
No, and Haye throwing a lot of shots. He doesn't normally throw this many shots. He's being forced to throw them by Derek constantly coming forward.
Thrown more shots in this first round than he did in about 6 against Valouet.
David's not even trying to make Chisora miss. He's just unloading when Derek's coming in and just trying to land first.
Look at the look of concentration on David Haye's face. Haye, who, as we know, has not got a great chin, but has terrific athleticism and speed. Martin Witherspoon last night was saying that Chisora's got to be more selective with the shots that he throws than at times in the past. But I think Chisora has certainly improved enormously in the last year, and that experience against Vitaly Klitschko will be a big one, and he wasn't too far away with that attempted big overhand chopping right. I think what he's had to learn as well from the Klitschko fight is that he can't afford to let Haye get into a rhythm and stack up rounds early on.
Yeah, it was the experience that lost Derek the fight against Klitschko, and he needs to just keep making David Haye work. David Haye's working very hard, but it's a Haye round for me, but he worked hard to win that round.
Interesting opening round, but no bombs from Haye in any sense disconcerting Derek Chisora. In the corner now with his trainer Don Charles.
Yeah. He's loading up, that's good, he's loading up, yeah? Just tuck up like you are. Tuck, you hear me? Tuck up, let him miss, yeah? Watch that left, let that left hook, time it better. Feint, then throw it.
That's right.
Yeah? You good? Cross arm when you're going in, keep your eye on him. You understand? Stay on him, don't give him that room.
And bang that jab in his chest, okay?
You good?
The other voice in that corner was...
Keep giving nothing away.
This is Alan Booth now. Well, a fascinating opening round. He had to give it to David Haye, but Derek Chisora, you could hear that they were satisfied in that corner with the game plan.
Yeah, and they were satisfied with the fact that they're making David Haye work and making him miss, or making him just hit elbows and gloves, and that will be the plan for Chisora, to make Haye miss, make him try and punch himself out and come on strong down the stretch.
Chisora just trying to walk Haye down. Haye, the big question marks on occasion about his stamina in the past as well. Now this is where Chisora wants him, leaning on, making that 37-pound weight advantage, if you want to call it that, maybe tell.
It is only an advantage if you use it, and Chisora's got to use it. He's got to keep coming forward like this, but keep tight all the time, blocking with elbows and gloves. He has that nice cross-arm defence, but just always make David Haye work. That's the key for Derek Chisora.
That's a good right hand from Haye. Big shot, and he knows that Chisora felt the weight of that. May have been the best punch of the fight so far, that one from Haye, that right hand.
Yeah, nice, and he's trying to land big singles now. Tried for the right uppercut straight after that, and it just missed.
Chisora's got to keep coming forward though, got to get into his territory. Haye's able to fight at range here, which is where he wants to be. He's not a good in-fighter, but if he can fight at range like this, it's Haye's game. Well, Chisora walked him down, got into range, and then wasn't throwing.
Yep, it's okay getting there, but when you get there, you've got to do something. You've got to make sure that you clock the points up.
Big right hand again, attempting to land.
He's trying to chop it down, really come down, maybe even the top of the head. You can see that's something he's worked on. I heard Don Charles saying when you get close, let it go, and it must only be the one shot that they're trying for. Haye comes low when he defends, and when he ducks and dives, he comes really low. So maybe that's the shot that they're working on.
Puerto Rican referee Luis Pavon. Tight defence from Chisora, the attempted uppercut taken on the arms. Now Chisora's into range, and you see he's trying to get space to land that overhand right once more.
Really chop and shot when it come through then, you know, so steep and so coming down onto David Haye's head.
Chisora not really a single one-punch knockout artist in the sense that Haye is, but he does have a cast-iron chin. One landed after the bell by Haye, and words exchanged and a bit of feeling.
It's starting up.
Crowd respond to that as well, they saw it. 2 rounds gone, 2 rounds to this guy. There's the right hand. That was a super slow motion replay, but it was delivered with real speed.
Yeah, that was the best right hand of the fight there, was just landed. I hope it shows you the slow motion of Derek Chisora trying to land that really choppy right hand. So steep when he comes in, you know.
Twitch him up.
It's definitely something that he's worked on, because you don't throw shots like that.
Different things. Get those reactions going. Right. So bounce again.
Adam Booth looks happy.
You can hear Adam Booth asking for reactions, try and get reactions, and Adam Booth and David Haye and George Groves, that's the way they fight. You know, they draw you on. They're very clever the way they do it. They make you make your mistakes, and then they counter.
David Haye, if you've been living on Mars, he's the guy on the left-hand side of the picture. Chisora finding the target, and Haye just wanting to tie him up. Left hand, I think, got through. It was kind of the perceived wisdom that the early stages of this fight would be Haye's. But Chisora in this third round, it's just starting to get into range a little bit more. Lovely sharp right hand from Haye, great hand speed and accuracy.
Bit of blood from David Haye's nose, so something is getting on from Chisora.
Chisora went down against Mock, against Mormek, against Thompson, against Barrett. Is he going to be called to be tested once more? That chin by Derek Chisora. Smile from Haye. Almost a leer as he moved away onto the back foot. Starting to warm up this one a bit, you sense?
Yeah. Chisora's just not making Haye work enough for me, and Haye's controlling everything on his back foot. He's landing, he's staying tight, he's not getting caught, he's boxing well.
Nice uppercut inside from Haye. Chisora thought he'd got him tied up, caught him unawares. Chisora just trying to walk him down again, get in range. You can see him setting himself for that right hand every time.
Yeah, it really is. It seems like he's only really trying the one thing early on, and I suppose that'll change as the fight goes on when the game plan kicks in. But you know, for me, Chisora has got to drag David Haye into the latter rounds, and you can see Haye. I'm not saying he's tired by any means, but you know, you can see him starting to breathe. His mouth's starting to drop. He's starting to open and close it fast, and you can see it's taking its toll. This is a high-paced fight.
They certainly learned, though, Haye, from that day back in September 2004 when Carl Thompson took him to task, and Haye just really blew out. Stamina ran out, and Thompson, such a hard fighter, had his measure, but he's a better man now.
Yeah, I think he definitely learned his lesson from that. You know, that was a painful lesson to learn, but he learned it nonetheless.
Chisora getting into range. Now they go toe-to-toe. Look at this, good shot from Chisora.
All after the bell, John, we didn't even hear it.
The bell had gone, you couldn't hear it. Absolute bedlam. People are standing up all around, and after the bell went, Haye was caught flush by a left hook.
Yeah, we never even heard it. The referee's just asked the timekeeper to ring it loud the next round. We couldn't even hear that bell, and we're sitting literally on top of the ring.
How much louder could you ring a bell? You ring a bell, and that's it.
Yeah. I don't know if David Haye switched off or not, or Chisora did then and maybe come back with his own.
That was that left hand after the bell, and of the exchange, that was the hardest.
Yeah, he didn't quite turn it in enough, but I think the people on the other side of the ring must have heard the bell, because we certainly didn't.
Haye's looking not too happy in that corner, and I think that has had an effect. The eyes have cleared now, but just for a few seconds, he looked distinctly worried, and he's gassed.
Yeah, he's blowing, Johnny. He definitely is blowing in that corner. You know, you can see it. You can see it's taking a toll on him. But as I said before, it's a high-paced fight, and David Haye is being made to punch and punch and punch, and Derek Chisora is just keeping to come forward, and he's absorbing what David Haye is given.
Who did you score that third round to, Paul?
I still have to give it to David Haye. He still controls it for me. So three rounds to nil for David Haye against Derek Chisora.
But as they come into the fourth, Chisora believes. Now, I said about that protective guard being pulled up high, ridiculously high. It was somewhere up over the rib cage. and he's sending him off to a neutral corner and pulling it down before the action begins. Now, was Haye hurt by that left hand at the end of the third? I thought he was. Referee a little bit on Chisora's case in the opening seconds of this fourth. There's the right hand from Chisora. Haye, though, takes it well. The reaction of the crowd was astonishing when Chisora landed that left hand. All around the stadium, people sprang to their feet. Oh, big right hand again from Chisora.
Both of them Both of them landed really well there, John.
And Chisora onto the back foot, almost for the first time, and inviting Haye in, which has to be stupid.
Yeah, Chisora doesn't want to be there. You're not used to being on the ropes. You don't want to be there with someone like David Haye.
Now here comes Haye trying to unload.
Haye, when he unloads, is an explosive finish and an explosive punch. You don't want to be on them ropes.
How badly hurt, how badly stung was Chisora this time in the fourth round. Oh, big right hand from Chisora now. But Haye again takes it well. Can't take your eyes off this. Good left hand from Haye, lovely punch.
Chisora wants to be a bit careful because he's trying that hard to turn the right hand in so much that it's almost looking like a slap, like he's stamping his hand down.
Two good jabs from Chisora. Haye with the chiseled physique, seemingly not an ounce of fat on it. Softer, fleshier and 37 pounds heavier Chisora. Fast hands again from Haye, but taken on the gloves and arms of Chisora.
You'd think all the way in the build-up to this it was going to be the other way. Derek Chisora backing David Haye to the ropes when they get inside the clinch. David Haye's wasting a lot of energy by pushing Derek Chisora back to the ropes. He doesn't need to do that.
Well, it's been another round for Haye.
Definitely, but some good exchanges in that round.
Taking the pattern that many people expected at the moment. If Haye can box his way and stay away from Chisora, he's surely 4 rounds up. His fight, let's hear what Adam's saying. That's a terrific uppercut from Haye, lovely shot.
Yeah, and a good right-hand return from Chisora. Lovely uppercut inside from David Haye to start the exchange off, and then he had the first and the last say in the exchange as well.
Great shot from Haye.
Lovely, well-timed, sneaky uppercut.
Chisora just not able to land the clean shot he wanted there.
You see what I mean about that right hand? He must have trained so hard and so long trying to chop it down that he needed the straight right hand and it didn't come.
Into the fifth, Chisora a little bit slow to get off his stool. Nathan Cleverly, who's been sparring Chisora, said if he gets through the first 5 rounds, then Chisora will come on strong later in the fight. Good footwork again from Haye, making most of those big swings from Chisora at least only land as glancing blows. Hand from Haye got through, but he looked a little bit disorganised as he went back towards the ropes.
I think Chisora was a bit disorganised as well. He didn't know whether to go southpaw or orthodox and trying to land the right hand.
At the moment, the boxing class of Haye is prevailing. Lovely right hand and then slipping the attempted counter. the big right from Haye.
Just good stuff from David Haye. Again, Haye taking the advantage inside and using his body weight and his strength to push Chisora back, which is surprising. None of us really expected that.
Chisora getting in with the left to the body, but he's going to be taking the energy, sapping the energy of both men.
This is where what they say pre-fight really counts for us, people watching in and trying to judge the fight, because if David Haye can do this and maintain his work rate for 10 rounds, then he wins the fight clearly, but it's whether he does what we all expected him to do and slow down, and Chisora take over late.
And Chisora, we saw against Vitaly Klitschko, most emphatically on that occasion, did go 12 rounds. Frank Warren getting animated at ringside, wanting Chisora to work inside. Oh, big left hand and right! Tremendous shots from Haye! Left hook, right hand, and Chisora down in the fifth. Wonderful left hook that was from David Haye. Blurring hand speed, and Chisora touches down.
Lovely shot, and David Haye's an exceptional finisher.
Chisora holding on with desperation now. He's got one of the best chins in the business, but he couldn't stand up. And he's gone again! I don't think he's going to get up this time! The counts at 6, at 7, at 8, he has! He's waited off! He stopped it! He stopped the fight! It's all over! And the great grudge match has been won by David Haye by stoppage! A quite brilliant left hook, followed by the right hand. That was the first knockdown, and when it came again, Chisora was out.
Great finish. Someone so durable like Derek Chisora to go down the way he did and to be stopped the way he did. It just shows, you know, it really doesn't matter how good your chin is if you get it there, but with the right shot at the right time, you're going to go, and that was an exceptional finish.
David Haye salutes his public. The fans celebrate, David Haye celebrates. And Derek Chisora is getting a little bit of medical treatment in his corner. I think he's okay. Paramedics are in there making absolutely sure. But the shots that took him out, the first knockdown, well, that was just terrific stuff from David Haye.
Lovely shot, really explosive power. That's the thing with David Haye. He hasn't just got the power, he's got the explosiveness that goes with it, and the speed that makes it explosive. When you've got that speed and the power together, you know, that is the outcome, that's the result.
Paul, there are German commentators at ringside. Huge interest over in Germany in this contest. If Derek Chisora had won, he'd have walked into a fight against Vladimir Klitschko. Yeah. I'm pretty sure of that. But David Haye now will send a message out to Vitaly. You couldn't get rid of Derek Chisora in 12 rounds, and I have taken him out.
Yeah, and that was the logical fight to make. You know, if Derek was to win the fight, then the fight with Vladimir is there, the personal history. So now David Haye has won, there's no reason why there shouldn't be a fight with Vitaly Klitschko.
Well, let's take a look at the punches that he was able to find. There's the left hand and there's the right.
Right on the chin, nothing stopping it whatsoever. You know, perfect, right on the button. He was going off that, the right hand just helped him over. Lovely shot, so fast, so sharp and so explosive.
The left hand pull was an absolute cracker. And then when the second knockdown came, well...
Yeah. The right hand just helped him on his way, yeah. The left hook was a peach, right on the chin, perfect, parallel to the floor elbow, right on the button.
Here's the second knockdown.
Chisora being brave, trying to fight, but when you're disorientated, there's no way you're going to fight. Great
Three
finish.
right hooks, two lefts, and all of them went through pretty much unanswered to the head. And David Haye, so far as Britain is concerned, has proved tonight that he remains top of the tree over here. and he has proved himself to be the superior man in the great grudge match. And those were the punches that ended it. And with that, Chisora knew that he was beaten, and the two men now are hugging in the ring. A lot of bad feeling, and they hug. All the bad blood is over. Well, I'm glad to see that.
I am really much so. We needed that. Boxing needed that. You know, it's a sport. These two lads are just beating each other up, and now that, you know, they're shaking hands and they're hugging, and there's the rest of the unfinished business as well. So you know, it's a boxing. It's sport. It's a boxing match, and that's that.
It's been a great event, a great occasion, a dramatic fight, and the class and the speed of Haye ultimately was too much for Derek Chisora. I think he surprised him with his sheer physical strength as well.
Definitely, it was
now
a good
he
pace as well.
celebrates. So, David Haye, the winner, and these will be the words that he loves to hear from Michael Buffer.
This contest comes to an end at 2 minutes, 59 seconds, round number 5. The winner by knockout victory, and now the WBA International Heavyweight Champion, David Haymaker.
Derek Chisora sportingly applauds the moment. Upton Park celebrates, and David Haye, he's back, and he will be looking for the Klitschko's once more. Vitali is very much on his radar.
Thank you, John. John Rawling and Paul Smith talking you through a dramatic 5 rounds of heavyweight boxing in the rain at Upton Park in East London. The Haymaker took a year out, but he is back and winning every round and ending it in absolutely dramatic fashion with some devastating hitting as well. And great to see at the end there the two fighters embracing. I am delighted that they did that, and I'm delighted that it has ended the way it has. No doubt about this fella. Let's bring in Steve Bunce first of all, who was down at ringside. Steve, give us your views.
Well, first of all, some of the punches that were landed on both of those fighters were stunning, and the final flurry from David was incredible. To think that Derek Chisora got up not just once but twice. Jim, I've been ringside 30 odd years, hundreds of times in big fights. I was 6 foot from the canvas. You could feel it, you could feel the ground move. It was quite frightening in that ring.
Okay, let's get down and get the interviews. On you go, Alex. Who have you got? You got the Haymaker.
What a finish, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sure you want to hear a quick word from the Haymaker. David, what do you remember about the finish?
The finish, I can tell you, Derek Chisora has one of the best chins, if not the best chins I've ever hit in my life. Because I was hitting him with shots that would normally put people away, and he was smiling at them, he was eating them. You know, I have to say Derek Chisora is a great fighter. I didn't give him much respect before the fight, because I hadn't really tasted it inside there, but after doing these rounds with him, I can tell you he'll be champion one day, no doubt about it.
He gave you a right good workout, didn't he?
He did. He gave me a lot harder work than I anticipated. I thought that fight would go a couple of rounds because my training had gone so well. But you know, I had to dig deep in there. Derek hit me with some good shots, and I had to do what great fighters do and find a way to win.
You've tasted some amazing atmospheres around the world. What about this?
This is the best atmosphere I've ever been in my life. I'd like to thank each and every boxing fan who came out. Whether you're here to support me, Derek, or someone on the undercard, I really appreciate your support because it made this one of the best British boxing matches in recent years.
It wouldn't be boxing if there wasn't some aggro beforehand, but shaking hands afterwards. There was a really sporting hug after.
There was a lot of beef beforehand. Everyone knows what's going on, but we went in there, we both laid it on the line, put our lives on the line for everyone's entertainment. And I'm glad that Derek's healthy now. And I believe he's going to go on to do great things in boxing.
Derek, you promised us a good fight. It was certainly that for as long as it lasted.
Oh yeah, first of all I have to say congratulations to David, and I want to thank Frank and Luxembourg board for making this happen. Now I owe David Haye 20 grand.
Goes to charity.
Yeah, for charity. Yes, Afro-Caribbean Leukemia Trust, a great charity.
David, there was talk about the winner of this being in line maybe to fight Vitaly Klitschko. Of course, that's an opponent that Derek went 12 rounds with back in February. What sort of message have you sent out tonight?
I think that's a very scary message. I'll be very surprised if Vitaly Klitschko would want to fight me now after seeing the performance I put on tonight. I'll guarantee he's going to fight some chump no one's ever heard of and then try and retire and become a politician or something. But if he wants to give the world a great fight, you know, I'm ready to go, ready to win that heavyweight title back.
And Derek, forward for you, you're going to have a good rest now. What next?
Oh yeah, you know, I don't like resting. It was a great fight. I enjoyed it. You know, I got caught with I don't even know what shot it was, but it was a great shot. I got up. My first time in my career going on the canvas. But you know what? This is boxing. There has to be one winner and one loser. And I drew the short stick today, so I'll be back.
Great sport. Ladies and gentlemen, give your appreciation for both fighters, please.
Well done in there, Alex, and great to see the two fighters respecting each other at the end of the prolonged war of words. That is exactly the way it should be. Derek Chisora admitting he lost it to a better man, and David Haye saying, that Chisora will be a world champion one day. He promised the best haymaker we had ever seen. He wasn't far short of that, and as Steve Bunt said, the ferocity of those rounds was just astonishing. There we are then to the sounds of Land of Hope and Glory. Just like to make one point as well to everyone who said this was going to be a freak show and a bit of a circus. This has been an impeccably organised sporting occasion. One or two inevitable scuffles that we saw in the crowd, but what else do you expect with 30,000 people here? But this has been a proper sporting event, and you could not take your eyes off it for a second. Nathan Cleverly, take a deep breath and give us your thoughts on an absolutely thrilling few rounds. Everyone would have wished it had gone a bit further, wouldn't we?
Yeah, it was an intriguing first, 5 or 6 rounds, because he was waiting for something to happen. David Haye was throwing big bombs from bell one. Chisora kept coming forward, and that was the problem for Chisora, trying to get through that first half of the fight. And David Haye's power in the end was too much for him, too explosive.
And when he did get inside, he found it hard to get to David Haye as well, didn't he?
Well, that's where David Haye was clever. Chisora found himself inside a lot of the time, but David would just hold and wait for the ref to break them up, and then he'd have his distance again. So
I'll talk to you in just a moment. Let's go back to the ring and have a word with Adam Booth, with David Haye's trainer.
Yeah, very much the mastermind behind it all. Adam, they made you sweat. How much did that go to plan?
Always prepared for a rough fight. Derek actually caught me out, because at the end of the second round I said to David, he's not as fast as we planned he would be. And then he came out in the third round and actually picked up his speed, so that was his plan, to sort of set a low tempo. But David had a lot of desire to actually have a fight, and so the plan was to we always knew that David would land his shots first, but then to close him in quickly. Sometimes he was pulling away and getting caught with shots, and then decided just to have a shootout with the fella, because he knows that as long as someone's punching at him, they're going to give him a target, and he is so heavy-handed. He really is. And he knows that as soon as he catches someone that they're going to go.
There were one or two of those close-up exchanges where you thought that there was an element of lottery about it, that he didn't need to do that, David. Was he giving you some kittens in there?
Yeah, I said that, he was supposed to close him up tight, because I knew the first half of the fight was when Derek was going to try and sort of drain his tank a little bit. But as he's always wanting to sometimes, he decided that, well, he must have felt something as well. He must have felt something on the inside that made him think, I'm staying here.
And yet, ironically, it was one of those firefights that brought about the finish.
Yeah, exactly. When someone's throwing at you, they're leaving their target open, and that's what David was looking for. He wanted the guy to let his hands go so he could nail him first. There's spinning a coin sometimes, but when you have more speed, it goes in your favour.
Now, everyone's next question is, can we get David Haye and Vitaly Klitschko in a ring? How possible is that?
I honestly don't know. You know, we discussed terms and they sent us a contract, and what I saw in the contract wasn't really what I remember discussing. And I don't know. You know, Vitaly's got, he's getting old. He's got a political life. He's had a great career, and I don't know if they really want him in there with someone that's quick and can bang. Like I said, I was happy last year when he's retired. I'm happy now he's won this fight. I don't know. And to be honest, I'm easy either way.
You were one of the people who almost wanted him to stay retired. He's come back with a dangling carrot, and this opportunity presented itself. If not Vitaly Klitschko, is there anything else out there for David Haye in your eyes?
No, I don't think so. No, he said that he would come back and fight Klitschko, and then Derek and David had that beef. This is the place to settle it. They've settled it. If it's not Klitschko, no, he's not interested.
The Dark Lord.
The
Dark Lord rides again.
Pardon?
The Dark Lord rides again.
No, I'm going to go home and I'm going to have a nice sleep.
Sleep well. Well done.
Thank you.
Job well done. Thanks, Alex, and to Adam Booth as well. So it is Klitschko or nobody for David Haye. Let's have a word with Pricey, who's been sitting here very patiently watching two heavyweights slug it up there. I mean, it was a slugfest, wasn't it, from the first bell? There was, I think dear old Reg Guthrie used to say, no scouting missions in this one.
No, and that's what I expected. I expected David Haye to come out and want to redeem himself from his last performance, and I think he did with that performance. The finish, I don't think I've seen a finish like that for a long time, because 4 clean punches landed, and the last one landed clear on the chin of Derek Chisora, that put him down. But the first knockdown as well, the left hand which landed, he kind of switched into a southpaw stance, which I've seen him practice in the gym a few times. I don't think it's come off on anyone before, and what a night for it to come off.
That was what he said would happen. Too much speed, too much power.
Well, speed kills, that's the saying goes, and it does, and which is why I backed Haye inside the distance, because although Derek Chisora obviously came to fight, which we knew he would, and you could see the strength of Derek Chisora. He's a strong man and he's going to give anyone an argument, but if someone's got the speed to land a clean shot on another heavyweight's chin, it doesn't matter how heavy they are. If they've got speed and explosions like David Haye, they're going to hit the canvas.
Just to say, that's the first time that Derek Chisora had ever visited the canvas as a professional. One fella who tipped Chisora to cause an upset here is with Alex in the middle of the ring. It's Frank Warren.
Yeah, Frank Warren, of course, Derek Chisora's manager, but he's a boxing fan as well. And as a boxing fan, Frank, that was some night.
I thought it was a great heavyweight fight. You know, Derek gave his all. He just couldn't get off. He couldn't get his jabs going, weren't letting his shots go. And you can't take it away from David Haye. And I've been a big critic of him in the past. You can't take it away. He toughed it out there tonight. He showed speed. You could see what he was all about when he got into the ring. I see he had a pair of trainers on rather than boxing boots. And I thought to myself, you know, that's what we're going to see tonight, a lot of speed. And I just thought he really, really did put it together well. And, you know, Derek tried. Derek called, I think, David in the second round a really good shot. The bell went. But at the end of the day, you know, David Haye fought, you know, he deserved it. He deserved to win the fight and won it in great style.